Welcome back, recruits. I'm Chris Nance with the Northern California Ghostbusters. And today, we're going to be walking you through a few mods for your Hasbro Spengler Neutrona Wand. Specifically, we're going to be installing a new set of grips on this thing. We're going to give it the new thermal charging plate seen in Frozen Empire. And then we're going to install a barrel shroud, also seen in Frozen Empire. Let's get started.
So, as you can see, we've got some snap-on grip from Harson 3D Printing, a charging plate from Creative 3D Printing CA, and then a nozzle guard, also from Creative 3D Printing CA.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get going. This right here is just the standard Hasbro Neutrona Wand that you can get for 120 bucks. We haven't done anything to it so far, other than plug it into a HasLab pack. Right now, we're gonna have to do some slightly heavier modifications to it to get to what we need to get to.
There's some slicing too.
Some slicing and some dicing.
Some drilling and all that stuff.
First and foremost, we're gonna start with the easiest step here, which is gonna be cutting all of this fake tape, this rubber molded fake tape off, so we can replace it with that grip. I'm gonna go ahead and use the flat blade on my pocket knife, but not everybody has a sharp little pocket knife handy, so pretty much any like small sharp knife, basically. And all I'm really gonna do is I'm gonna try to wedge under and then cut up away from the wand. You can already see that cut starting.
Watch your thumb.
I know. So very carefully, we're just continuing to work our way along and just keep getting the blade in under and then cut away.
Show me your progress.
So I actually just split right down the face, so there's actually like a really small amount holding it at this point. You can already see.
Watch your thumb.
Mm-hmm. And there it goes.
It's just junk. Just plastic molded junk. It's really what it is. It's very weird that they did a mold instead of putting real tape.
So, these nifty grip replacers that you picked up are right there. And we want to get the slots correct because this is supposed to go on the front end to make room for the ear.
Yeah, it's supposed to cover one. They have two different ones, one that covers everything and one that just goes on the top. I wanted one that covered everything. Oh, wow, that's gorgeous.
Voila.
Look at that loads difference. Look how better it looks. Wow.
It really makes a huge difference on the appearance.
It really does.
It kind of... What's nice, too, is these are not the best quality print, but, you know, they're making them for sale, so, it makes sense that it would be kind of at this quality.
We didn't sand them or anything either.
We haven't done
we just put it right down.
We haven't done any filler or sander on these. That's it for the grips. Super easy. Just cut off that fake tape and pop these on. The other easy thing we can do before we even get into opening this up.
It's good to note too that this muzzle it comes in two variations. I got the one that's the easy put on, but there's another one that's completely all the way around and you have to take apart the entire wand to get it on.
The barrel shroud did not come with any hardware, so I am supplying some M5 screws. Normally I would not use a metric screw for this, but it's what I have, so. There you can see how the bottom of the barrel shroud slots in, where gonna go like that. Ah. And voila.
So you're just inserting the Allen screw on the top of it?
Exactly. And I went with M5 specifically because it was pretty close to the size of the hole that was there.
which means I can make it a nice tight fit by just threading it right into the material, basically. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be a proper thread, but it doesn't really need to be, because all we're doing is pinning it.
I know, it kind of adds flavor that they stick out a bit too.
Yeah. Okay. I should be able to just pop this guy right in. So this is going to be the hard part, actually, because we're going to have to do some disassembly to the wand in order to get to this. And to do that, we're going to have to get the V-hook off of there.
So we're removing the V-hook.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't think it's really necessary, but it's just like one extra piece of hardware that we don't necessarily need right there. So, as you can see, right there and there, and there and there are a set of little dots. And what those dots are little plugs that are set into the surface of the plastic above the screws that are actually holding the bottom plate to this on. So, in order to get to that, we're going to have to actually take a little drill bit, and I'm going to drill at least partially, if not all the way through the plug, and then just yank the whole plug out using the drill bit.
Okay. Godspeed.
I knew it was going to do that. Already see there's a little Phillips head underneath there.
And there's the plug.
And there's the
Hold on,
whole
don't
plug.
move. There you go.
There's the whole plug, fully removed.
Okay, there's the plug.
No homework. No studying.
No studying.
So you can see 2 of the plugs came out clean and 2 did not. That's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use these as pilot holes for a slightly larger bit, just to get them open enough that I can actually take those screws out.
Mm-hmm.
In fact,
Ooh, almost. I see it. It's almost there.
you can see the plug starting to give way already too.
What a weird thing to do on a product.
I know. That one's sticking. I wonder if I can
What's who you grabbing? Needle nose pliers?
see if I can get in there and get the one out.
Yahtzee.
Here's one. What about this other one? Ah, there it goes. Get our handy dandy screwdriver here. Just a Phillips head, it's just a much tinier one than we were running into before, so. I had to grab one of my little fine point screwdrivers. That's Yeah, you can already see
It's moving.
that bottom plate coming off.
What, like you remove the bottom plate and there's another plate? Like what the What?
So it gives us actual access to the bottom of this.
Yeah, so this was just too, we didn't have a screwdriver to go deep enough that was in here. It's really deep, so we had to get something a little bit longer. And Chris,
something
surprisingly,
longer.
Chris didn't have anything in his mountain of tools, which is really weird, so I bought him some for Christmas.
Something longer and thinner.
So we had to get a narrower screwdriver, but now Chris has what he needs.
Yes. Hey, it's magnetized. Sweet.
So now we're just getting the rest of the 4 screws out, right?
Yeah, these last couple here. Now,
Anything attached? Because we've never done this before, viewers, so we never opened up ourselves.
so that is the inside of a Hasbro Spengler Neutrona Wand. Now that we actually have access to the inside of this fake heat sink here, in order to remove it so we have space to put this on, or put this on and then that, we are actually going to have to unmount the speaker first, which means that we're going to have to pull these 4 brackets out of the way, these bracket screws out of the way. Yeah, they did.
All the same screws?
Yep.
Nice. It looks like the speaker is attached, so be careful when you're doing this part. Not you, but the people watching. Have to pull it out all the way and yank the speaker wire and have to solder stuff.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
you can
'cause it
kind of
is
see
right there. I can kind of see
the
it. Yeah.
speaker is right there. I'm gonna try to get these brackets off without fully pulling the old heatsink out. This is gonna be the tricky one. So, I don't know if you can see on camera there, Greg, like there's just barely a spot where if I pull it up just to the right spot, I can get through from the side.
You can kind of see it. Yeah, PCS you perfectly. Yeah.
Hanging on by a thread there. There it goes. Okay, so now I should be able to do that. There is our old heatsink. So this is made to basically slot directly in where the old heatsink used to live, like so. Which means that we're gonna go back and...
Oh wow, it fits perfectly. God bless this community, dude. Holy crap.
Isn't that cool?
That's just flush. Like the guy pulled it apart,
The posts
or the
even.
person measured it out,
Even
looked at that,
Yeah.
or scanned that, 3D
Yeah.
scanned that, and then create. That
that
is so cool.
I'm telling you, man, this is a cool little kit. I like this charging plate that you got.
It was like $20, and I talked to him, and I'm assuming he's a he because of his name, but that like, oh, like you want the speaker one, it's easier. You want the sweet speaker one, it's much easier to put on. So that's
Yeah.
what he meant. I think the other one was for like your pack. If you just want to take off the heatsink and put on a flat one without any divots. Does it go in?
Yep.
Oh wow.
So I don't believe the post has threads built into it. However, the sizing of the screw holes to the post or
Make
such,
it, feed
you
it, yeah.
basically just use a hand tool and the screw itself to thread it in. It's not a real good proper thread, but it will hold. Especially if you are kind of careful not to over tighten and strip out the material with with the screw that you have, because we're just going back and we're using the exact same hardware and little mounting bracket thing. I'm getting really close to stripping these screws, but once all 4 are on, it should hold in place on its own without too much issue. Like so. And voila.
And that's it.
That's it for that part. So now we actually have to go back
Put everything back on.
and put everything back. So we have a couple of final steps here that need to be done to the wand mod specifically. First of all, we need to get this guy mounted into place, indexed kind of right up in the corner of the plate. And we're pretty much just gonna take a little piece of 180 grit and I'm gonna go over the back, especially in the corners. And not really trying to make it smooth. In fact, I'm trying to make it kind of coarse back here and scratch up this surface so that the epoxy has space to grab onto. If you leave it smooth, it's pretty likely that the epoxy is gonna fail, and it won't, because it doesn't have any surface to kind of sink into and grab onto. Once that's done, take a little dab of epoxy or super glue preferably, because we would be gluing PLA to PLA. We can use cytoacrylic glue, super glue, and that will create a nice strong chemical bond between the two pieces directly.
But I want to paint this, so we're not going to do this right now. I'm going to prime this and dry brush it silver, and then maybe add some yellow lines to it on the bottom, and then glue it on.
Exactly.
So that's why we're not finishing that. But that's all you have to do now is just, you said sand it and then glue it onto the corner, and then you're pretty much golden.
Exactly.
All right, hey guys, so just a quick pick me up real fast. I wanted to paint these before we got them onto the pack permanently, because you need to glue that one. So I basically just went outside. So I got some textured spray paint here. You can get them at Home Depot. Doesn't need any primer, just goes right on. And then I'm gonna let this dry, and it's gonna give it like a little bit of texture so I can dry brush silver stuff on these a little bit later. So you can get this at Home Depot. It's like 10 bucks, not bad, but I just wanted to have a little bit of texture to the 3D printed parts so they didn't look like plastic. And then I'll dry brush it with a silver, and I'll show you guys that later. And that was our modding today. I got some painting to do next week.
And a little bit of gluing. So, a couple of easy one-day mods to your HasLab pack that can kind of help make it a little bit more unique to you, and also add some of the cool new features that we've seen so far from the Frozen Empire trailer, and some electronic stuff underneath the hood too. Pretty, always kind of cool to get to play with.